Something I've learned is that if you go to people with a big, bold, hairy, audacious goal, they'll probably tell you that you're being unrealistic. When they do, shake their hand and thank them for the compliment, because why would you ever want to be realistic? What's the point in being realistic to begin with? If the most brilliant people throughout history had been realistic, we would have never seen things like the invention of the light bulb. I mean, actually creating light with the flip of a switch, or human flight, people flying through the air in an aluminum can. I mean, really? Or the locomotive, a vehicle that can stretch more than a mile in length and pull millions of pounds, thousands of miles, powered only by steam. Or a man on the moon. I mean, if people behind all of these endeavors had been realistic, we would have never seen such unrealistic innovations today that have pushed the human race forward, advanced our evolution, and gave us conveniences and a quality of living we could have never imagined before them. Being unrealistic is what makes life worth living. For not just the silly dreamers who are the unrealistic ones, but everyone else who gets to share in their benefits because of the select few people in the world who choose to be unrealistic in their pursuits. The more times you hear that you're being unrealistic, the more times people call you unrealistic, the more you know you're on the right track. There's this delusional mentality among society that the goal is to be realistic. You don't want to be perceived as some crazy psycho who's unrealistic, but if you think about it, why would you ever want to be realistic? Anyone who's ever created anything great in this world, everyone's name who's remembered from history, the common theme they all share is that they were unrealistic in their pursuits. They always went after what was commonly believed to be impossible. You cannot be realistic to achieve something original, to come up with something that changes the game. You can't be realistic to dream up something that improves people's lives, because that's using the same mediocre thinking that everyone else is using. And I've got to give a tip of the hat to Will Smith, because in a video I saw of him, he was talking about being unrealistic and gave some great examples. He said, it's unrealistic to walk in a room and flip a switch and lights come on. That's unrealistic. Fortunately, Edison didn't think so. It's unrealistic to think that you're going to bend a piece of metal and fly people over an ocean in that metal. That's unrealistic. But fortunately, the Wright brothers and others didn't believe that. And it just seems like such a ridiculous idea to me to embrace the idea that it's not going to happen or that's not possible. As soon as you do that, or as soon as you say that, now you just made that real. So we have this incredible technological capability, and it's all because of those people among us who decided they weren't going to be realistic, who decided that the fun in life is pursuing the things that never were. To quote John F. Kennedy, we need men who can dream of things that never were. And this group of people who are unrealistic in their pursuits are the ones who are capable of doing that. So don't ever, ever let society tie you down to being realistic. Those who do so out of feeling threatened by the change you're about to create. Because as we know, few things terrify most people more than change. Let me give you a few killer quotes. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Will Smith said that. John Eliot said, as soon as anyone starts telling you to be realistic, cross that person off your list. Tim Ferriss said, the fishing is best where the fewest go, and the collective insecurity of the world makes it easy for people to hit home runs while everyone else is aiming for base hits. In other words, you're going to hit your biggest home run when you're playing in the uncrowded pool of those who believe and act on the stars being the limit, as opposed to the overflowing pool of people who believe that only that which has already happened is possible. When you push the envelope, there's a new boundary of what people believe is possible. So you look at Thomas Edison, you look at the Wright brothers, you look at Albert Einstein, you look at Walt Disney, the examples are endless. All of these people were unrealistic, and all of them are remembered for what they achieved and their incredible contributions to the human race. So I think that this concept of educating people, specifically young people, to be unrealistic is perhaps the most important thing that we can do.